Hello there. Let's draw together. I thought I would talk a little bit about what I've learned doing the 100 Heads challenge, which many of you are aware that I have done, so let's get to it. Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Hope you're doing well. First off, I want to say, a lot of people comment saying, like, are you sick? Are you okay? No, it's just the way my voice sounds. And if my voice does sound extra sick, it's probably allergies. I have 3 very fluffy cats, and I am allergic to cats. It's a horrible decision on my part, but I love them and I cannot get rid of them. Second, this is the first time that I want to, like, sit down and actually consciously talk about what I've learned doing the 100 Heads challenge. I talked about this challenge a lot and how it's helped me, but I've never really, like, sat down and tried to figure out the things I have learned, how do they can apply to my art style. So let's do that today. Feel free to come along with me. Do you like my new mug? It's a dog. Also, do you like my pencil case? I've updated the pin situation. I'll take these out for later. The drawing that I wanted to make today was fairly simple. I just wanted it to be a simple headshot because that'd be the best way to practice drawing a head. And I also decided I should probably draw Sawyer because it's been a while since I've drawn him. What happened there? Dang. Okay, we'll just deal with it. I don't know exactly what dimension I want to draw in. I can't imagine it's much bigger than like one of these sheets. I think having a vertical layout would be best for a headshot. Since it is just going to be a close-up headshot, like there's not a whole lot going on to make it like visually interesting. So I want to see what I can do to spice it up a little bit. This is just a very simpleton. I don't know what I was saying. Alright, this is very boring. But I mean, it is just a headshot, so it's not like it's anything fancy anyway. What if I brought the hand up somehow? I don't know what the hand would be doing, but yeah, I really like this sort of angle and everything, and this positioning. Okay, what if we did like a similar, like framing and everything? I have an idea. Because I really like this sort of angle of the head. He's like looking at the camera, but it's not like super straight on. And he has his hand out like, what are you doing, man? What? I don't know. I don't know how to describe things. I'm a little tired today, in case you couldn't tell. If I brought his other hand up too. So he's literally like gesturing at you and being like, you're an idiot. Why are you like this? Because, you know, that's the type of stuff that Sawyer would say. Alright, let me flesh this idea out a little bit more. In the meantime, how are you all? How have you been? The holidays, right? It's a really weird year for holiday stuff, so hope you're all doing well, whatever it is you're celebrating, and whoever you're celebrating with. Hope you're all happy and healthy and safe. I think it's a little more hunched over in the smaller thumbnail, so let me try and bring that back. Make him more angry. He's angry. Oh my god, he's angry. It's also been a while since I've drawn Sawyer. This isn't how Sawyer's hair works, is it? It's okay, I'll figure it out in the final thing. Sorry to all the Sawyer fans out there. Sorry to all the new viewers who had no idea who I'm talking about. When I was filming my sketchbook tour, which should be the video you're seeing before this, I realized how much of a lack there was of like what I call the main gang. Like the whole group with Andy and Luca and Rory, all of them. He's in there too. I realized how little I've drawn them. I mean, a big part of that is because of my comic that I'm working on. It features different characters. I've just been drawing them because that's the story I'm working on. I feel like I'm neglecting my children. Is anybody else like that, where you just forget that you have certain characters? Okay, I think most of like the facial definition and everything will come in the final thing. I'm fine. So I wanted this to be a marker illustration, and I got some marker paper, but I got 2 different kinds. I got the Canson and the Strathmore, one of which is much thinner than the other. So I typically gravitate towards the Strathmore because it's thicker, or that's what I prefer, but also I have a lot of the Canson ones, so I should probably use that. Set this aside. Put that up there. Definitely going to trim this. Let's see, this is a 9x12. So let's cut it to like here. I don't know if that's too big, but we will find out. In my handy dandy paper trimmer. Put my handy dandy paper. Use my handy dandy paper trimmer. Toss that handy dandy paper aside. Everything is just handy dandy. You can kind of see through it because it's really thin, which is making me nervous. This is marker paper, so it shouldn't bleed through, but I'm nervous. So I'm gonna put this here. Scooch you guys. Oh, I'm so sorry. What if I tape this down? Because it's gonna be moving a lot if I don't. So from the illustrations I've made since doing the 100 heads challenge, a lot of like the base parts, I guess, like the base sketch, like the guidelines I use, a lot of those have stayed the same. Did you just lick my trash can? Sola, did you just lick the trash can? Why are you like this? It's mostly just like subtly playing with shapes. And one thing I want to do is I want to kind of go through my list of characters and like play around with their face shapes individually, like one-on-one. So I guess today I can play with Sawyer's. I've been working on character turnarounds for all of the characters in the comic, and there's a lot of them. Like way more than I anticipated when I first started making it. Each time I make a turnaround, I play a little more and more with face shape, and so far, all of the characters that I've made turnarounds for have pretty different faces from one another, which I'm really proud of. Too bad you guys can't see them. So you'll just have to take my word for it. Also, since I put this paper here, you kind of go off the page and draw where his arms would be if they were all in frame. Right, now I'm gonna erase these because they're gonna be very distracting. It's beginning. That's why I don't like thin paper. I'm so afraid that I'm gonna wrinkle this at any given time. One thing I think I should probably do. A big part of my 100 heads challenge talked about making people of various races look like their race, which now would be a good time to practice. Because I don't know if I've ever mentioned this, but Sawyer's Filipino. He's half Filipino, but does he look it? No. Why? Because I suck at drawing various faces, or at least I did. Go away, Pokemon Go, no one's talking to you. Yeah, I literally don't think I've ever mentioned that he's half Filipino because I'm... Alrighty, I'll keep those on standby. I kind of want him to have rounder cheeks because he's supposed to be super angry and edgy and emo all the time, but round cheeks are kind of on the cuter end, and I think that'd be funny. Where he's all angry and angsty, but then you just want to pinch his cheeks. He's angry. I now need to draw Cairo and Mabel pinching his cheek, one cheek each. I wonder if this is a little too big. Debating. Yeah, let's make it smaller. Well, I mean, everything I said still stands. This was a 9x7, so let's go 7x5. That should make it kind of even, right? 2 inches off of each side. Trim this. Put that aside. This I think I'm actually going to keep handy because sometimes when you swatch markers on different papers, they look different. So then that way I can use that to swatch the colors once that time comes. Now we start over again, but it's fine. I would rather make the decision to start over now rather than when I'm doing the line art. Let's try this again. No, I think it needs to, the elbow needs to be more like there. Erase these. Fuck, those are just gonna be there. Oh, this is why I don't like thin paper. Head 2.0, Sawyer Sketch 2, Electric Boogaloo. I wonder if I should give him more of a round nose too, or if the round cheeks are enough. I think I want to move the positioning of his nose. I want to make it, I think, just a tad bit higher up. Oh my god! That was almost a disaster. I am a fool. I think I made his hair more round and fluffy here. I believe it's detail time now. I can move this thumbnail sketch out of the way. Do you like how I have my own stickers on here? Like a fucking egomaniac? What a narcissist I am. Oh no! I feel like I always end up punching the plants and they don't deserve it. It's okay, they're not even real. Oh my god! Hello? Is it gonna rain? I hope not. Although maybe the rain in the background will be a nice aesthetic thing, because if there's anything that my channel screams, it's aesthetic. It's nice and aesthetic and pleasant and not chaotic at all. Scoochie. Sola, did you just lick the trash can? That was almost a disaster. Oh my god! One thing that I've learned that I really like to draw. I don't know if they're really considered bags, but like, they kind of look like bags, like these parts under the eyes. I draw bags normally like right there, but I like to draw these like right here. Just kind of like the area around, like the skin that wraps around the eyeball. Draw his angry eyebrow wrinkles. Eyebrow. Should I give him thicker eyebrows or thinner eyebrows? I feel like he has kind of thick eyebrows here. We keep him thicker. I like thick brows, I can't help it. Also, from what I'm seeing from looking at a lot of different Filipino faces, I forget what the word is, but like that eyelid crease, maybe that's just the word. It's sometimes there, and it's sometimes not. Guess I can make that decision. I don't think I've ever really drawn him with eyelid creases, so I guess I'll just keep that up. We could kind of accentuate these, because I mean, I feel like if any of my characters were to have bags under their eyes, it'd be Sawyer. I think the one thing that I still struggle with are different nose shapes, but I mean, I'm getting better at it. There's definitely an improvement. Because I feel like quite literally every single character I would draw would have the same nose. And I'm not good at drawing every nose shape ever, but improvement has been made. Also, another thing that I noticed when I was doing the 100 Heads challenge, when broken down into their most simple shapes, noses and penises are pretty much one and the same. Now you have that knowledge, do with it what you will. Another thing I found really helpful is like kind of drawing the sides of the nose. So I'll always draw this part, which is supposed to be like, is it the bridge? I don't know anatomy, but kind of drawing like the side of the nose. I don't really draw it on this side. I more just do it on this side, and then this side I'll define with shading. But that's something that's really helped me a lot. And then also paying attention to like how the nostrils are positioned. Like if they're more upturned or downturned, and if they're more askew. There's a lot more in noses than I initially thought. I think I should also make his hair like dyed orange, because the way that I viewed it before, it was just like a weird anime universe where people are born with unnatural hair colors, and that's just how it is. So maybe I'll keep that, maybe I won't, I don't know. With characters like Andy, I think it can work out a lot better because blue isn't a natural hair color for any race, but orange hair, or what we call red, that's like a natural hair color, but it's not a natural hair color in Filipino people, so. But I mean, I guess if we have characters like Andy with unnatural hair color standing right next to him, I guess it would kind of help make it make sense a little bit more. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm definitely keeping the orange hair, but really the difference would be just what color I color his eyebrows, because that would really define whether or not he was born with that hair color or not. Because Andy's eyebrows are blue, so unless they dye their eyebrows, which I guess people do, it's kind of just implied that they're natural hair color. But let me know your thoughts. I'd love to get your input. That sounded really sarcastic, it was not. Legitimately, I would like your input. This dog, he's just he's just in the corner. That's not creepy at all. You kind of can't really see his round cheeks. It's covered by his floof. I don't really like this chin shape. What can I do there? Kind of just picture him having a smaller chin. I mean, Sawyer himself, he's not super big at all. I picture him being like about 5'6", which isn't super tall for a dude. Let me draw some hair here, and then I wonder if I should start drawing the hood. So I wonder if a lot of the hair in the back of his head should be kind of inside the hood. I like this paper to sketch on. Don't really like how thin it is. I wonder if you should I think you would see more of inside of the hood, right? The lead broke, but it's still in there. How long will it take for it to fall out? I don't really know what would be going on with his neck, so we'll just leave it at that. Sometimes when I draw fingers, I don't know if I like them or not. I wonder if I should practice drawing different types of hands too, because I mean, many different hands are in the world. There are a lot of different like finger shapes and everything, but I feel like I always draw the same ones, so maybe that's something I could practice in the new year though. No more big projects at the end of this year. For those of you who are new here, this is just the logo of like a fake clothing brand I made for their universe called Royalty Clothing, but royalty spelled like T as in a t-shirt, so 2 E's instead of a Y. It's clever, not really. I think it's a nice way to kind of make your characters look a little cohesive with each other. So like each of the characters within this universe, they'll have an article of clothing with that logo on it, at least one. Sometimes there will be more. But it's just a nice way to kind of group them all together. That's how you erase. One thing that I'm definitely learning is that a lot of face definition comes in the coloring phase. So like whenever I'm sketching out a character, I'm worried that they look too generic and like too much like every other face that I draw, which sometimes is true. But sometimes it's also just because that sort of like facial definition that can really set two faces apart from one another, it does come in like the shading phase and the coloring phase. Trying so hard not to wrinkle the paper again. I usually gravitate towards the 01. I would prefer the pink color, but I don't have an 01. I was only able to get the PN, but it's a little bit thicker than what I would like. What about like this light brown color? I really like the pink color, but I think this brown would be the next best thing. So let's go with that. The nervous anime sweat. I don't even think I'm gonna get out of here. I feel like I always forget to talk during the line art phase. I can't help it. I'm just focused. What happened? It's okay. The gang's all here. Oh no, I messed up. No one will notice. Except I announced it, so everyone will notice. Let's add another seam, because why not? It seems like I like drawing clothes. The hand that gave me so much trouble, we'll just line that and make it permanent, and then I'll probably realize all of my mistakes because I wasn't even too happy with it to begin with. I've done it. I have finished the line art, which happens all the time, so it's not really anything worth announcing, but I'm announcing it anyways. Alright, I'll let this ink sit here for a bit. I'll probably go eat some food and pet my dog. You should all do the same. It's the next day, actually, like a few days later, because I'm apparently incapable of filming sketch vlogs all on the same day. But I have the same mug that I once did, so I could have just totally not told you guys that, and no one would have ever suspected a thing. But let's finish this bad boy. I also erased the pencil off camera and picked my markers out off camera because I figured that that would be very uninteresting to do and just a waste of time. Curious to see how different these are on this paper though. That's normally his base tone. It seems a little bit more like pale and desaturated on this paper. Let's color him. Hell yeah. I think one thing I still have trouble with is the forehead. It's always so weird to color the forehead because it seems very flat, but like that's just how a forehead is. A forehead is flat. I like this color for the highlights of his skin. I thought I would, but alas I do not. This is what I get when I experiment. Disappointment. That was a joke. You should all experiment. I think this could all just be colored in. There probably wouldn't be much highlights there because of the hair. I also need to figure out how to like apply shading to this sort of area when it comes to mouths like this, because I tend to render a lot in my shading, but I also like to draw animated facial expressions where the sort of rendering can kind of look odd because like how stylized the face is when it comes to certain expressions I draw. And I guess that's like my biggest struggle with shading everything and coloring stuff is sometimes I have a hard time finding the fine line of like making things more realistic and rendered and soft and then illustrative. I feel like this paper sucks a lot out of my markers. Dang. Do you see how weird this paper is? I may be facing some regrets. Note to self, don't buy the Canson marker paper again. Canson or Strathmore? Leave your comments down below. That blue Canson mixed media sketchbook is very popular, but I think Strathmore has better paper. I said it. I don't even think anybody cares about this. I care, god damn it. Oh no. I care so much that I colored outside the lines. Also, since it has been a few days later, I have started a sketch of Cairo and Mabel pinching his cheeks, because of course I did. I feel like it also takes the marker a minute to like settle into the paper, I guess. I feel like when I first put it down, like it needs to actually sink into the paper. I think I want to emphasize these things that I still haven't established what they are. I guess on him I can make them look more like bags. He is exhausted. I totally just made up that shading on the hand. It's okay. I mean, it looks like a hand, I think. Yeah, I messed that up. But it's okay. It's fine. The day I started filming this, I warmed up. Today, I did not. I don't know if that's been made clear. I don't know if it's just starting to dry out. I mean, I have a refill, but I'm lazy. Let's try the other end. Chisel nib, do your thing. Or not. Oh, it's working fine right there. Oh no, that's gonna be in. You can see through the paper. That's gonna be very distracting. Oh, I didn't smack the dog mug. What are you talking about? Yeah, I need to study hands more. I don't know what I'm doing. Alright, well, I'll leave them there. The hands are a little rough, but I mean, that's nothing new for artists, am I right? Hands are fucking whack, man. So I got that for his hair, right? And then this for the highlights. That's a little bit more yellowy than I would normally go for, but I think it should be fine. That's not gonna work out like hi. Brain! It's not gonna work out as a shading cut. Who let me have a YouTube channel? Who allowed this? It's not gonna work out for a shading color like I had hoped. Which one would be better, actually? Let's watch these right next to each other. This one is more yellowy, but I don't know if this one will be too dark. I forgot. I was gonna have the debate of whether or not in this universe people have naturally unnatural hair colors or not. Well, shit. I'll do this for now, but let me know your thoughts. I didn't actually test this, which would have been smart of me. Oh yeah, that'll work out fine. And then these two colors work well together, so I know that'll be fine. Shiny hair. Need more orange. Need more base tone here. Actually, let's just color this all in base tone. Fuck it, right? I'm living life on the edge. Touch this up before I forget, even though this is whiter than most of the paper I use, and you can totally tell where I messed up. Let's add this darkest shade color. I almost called it a highlight. This is not a highlight. I think his eyebrows should be darker though. The problem with Sawyer's eyebrows has always been like, I don't know if there's like enough contrast between like his skin and his eyebrow, because I add a lot of shading around the eye that makes that a lot darker, and his hair is darker than his skin, but it's not like drastically darker. And so then after I shade around the eye and then I go and add the hair, the tones between like the eye area and the eyebrow area tend to be very similar. So maybe I should give him brown eyebrows. Maybe he does dye his hair. He looks so strange with the brown eyebrows. I've never done that before. I just realized I didn't pick out a color for his tongue. Just use this one. It's right here. That'll be acceptable enough. Move on to this. Actually, I wonder if I should color in the flannel first, because I don't know how dark to make the sweater. Switch this. Oh, that's the wrong end. They really do be like that. They literally tell you which end is which. The one with like the dark ring on it, that's the brush end. So I don't know how I always end up doing that. I'm just a certified dumbass. Sorry that I hold my markers in my mouth. It's probably very disgusting. Am I gonna stop? No. I didn't draw the collar on this side. I can fix it. I did it. I don't think anyone would have noticed, to be honest with you. And I colored red on his hand. It be like that. It really do be like that, man. The line art is there for a reason, and I'm like, nah. I'm gonna ignore that and color wherever the fuck I want. Let's make freaking lose it. I was expecting that to be stronger. That burp was weak and I'm a disappointment. I remember when I was a kid, like, burping contests were a thing. Like, I would go over to my great-grandma's house, and my great-grandfather would always be in the living room. One time, he burped, and it shook the windows, so... And then one time, my brother burped, and the TV messed up. Like, this was when I was younger, so the TVs were, like, older TVs. Like, before having a flat screen was, like, the norm. It was, like, one of those, like, square box TVs. And my brother burped, and it messed up the TV. It got, like, all fuzzy for a second. Clearly something's going on with burps in my family. I wonder if I should have added the stripes to this flannel first. It's fine, I'm sure it'll be fine. Let's see, will this one work, or is it too light? It's fine for a first layer, I guess. I usually save the highlights for last, but these eyes are really bothering me with no highlights. That highlight was a bit too high. I'll fix it once that is dry. Oh my god, I rhymed. I'm a poet, and I didn't even know I was. Throw some shading on this flannel. Oh, or I could color his thumb red. That's fine, I'm sure he doesn't mind. I feel like I always have to simplify the shading on the flannels or plaid stuff that I make, just because it's already so busy with the patterns. And I always forget that, and I always grab like 2 shading colors, but I only end up really using one when I when I shade plaid. There we go. I think that's all I'm gonna do for the flannel. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Is this too much contrast for a shading color? Try this one. Oh yeah, I think this is better. Blend, god damn it. My plants are slowly disappearing out of frame. Quick question. If I made merch of this clothing brand, would you guys buy it? Because I know a couple of people are interested, but those were like comments from forever ago, and it was only like a couple. So if I made like stickers and shirts and stuff, what if I made Rory's shirt? Oh my goodness. Would you guys buy those? Because I would be happy to make some designs. YouTube took away the poll feature, didn't they? Well, leave it in the comments down below. Once we add the shading to this sweater, I'll be all done with the markers. And how about I add some details with colored pencils? I feel like it's been a while since I've done that. I used to do it in like every Copic. Oh my god. I used to do that in like every marker. Oh my god! I used to do that in every marker illustration, but I feel like now I rarely do it. I think the reason I stopped using the colored pencils is because I never knew when to stop. Like, I never knew when enough was enough. So I would always just keep going and going, and then all of a sudden, there was colored pencil everywhere. So I think I'll use this to bring some highlights out in the eyes. I mean, this isn't the hair. I am truly the biggest brain of them all. Use it to add some blush because it's my art. Very slight redness to the nose. Don't want him to be Rudolph. I didn't add any color in the shading, which is weird. Normally I'll have like one marker that I'll throw in the shading of everything. So like I use a certain set of markers for the skin and then a certain set for the hair. Normally I'll have one that I'll use in every part of the drawing, but I didn't do that. Honestly, can't tell you why. Throw some white highlight on here, then get some washi tape, and we will call this a drawing. How about that? First, let's take this paper off because it's kind of bothering me. Totally not using white highlights to cover up the fact that I messed up the hands. What do you mean? Of course I would never. I think I'm actually gonna tape that in my sketchbook because I have nowhere else to put this. Scooch that over because I'm probably gonna spill it if I don't. But the washi tape would go good with this. Maybe something stripy because of the flannel. I think just this and then maybe like a reddish plain color. Which red? I think I like the darker one. Let's get this aesthetic shot back. I'm not professional, but I need to keep up the image that I am. I think I want to add this on the top. I think right there is fine, right? Oh, and it moved. Well then, X-Acto knife. I'm kind of scared of cutting through this paper because it's so thin. Normally with washi tape, it's like the paper I use is thicker, so even if I like scratch the surface of the paper, it normally doesn't cut through. And I cut through. But it's fine, you can't even tell. Let's sign this bad boy. Oh no, is it too long? It's okay, I'm willing to trim off a tiny bit. That should be enough, right? I'm actually gonna tape it like this, and then I'm gonna do one of these. So then that way, you won't even see the washi tape when I turn it over, except you might because this paper is really thin and see-through. And there we go. It's like its own mini page. Thank you for joining me on this little sketch blog journey of trying to actually apply what I've learned in the 100 Heads challenge. If you haven't tried that challenge or even just studied facial structure at all, I definitely recommend it. It's helped me a lot with not only like shading and furthering my art style, but also with same face syndrome. Let me know what you think of how I've been drawing heads, if I've improved, and if you have any tips for me to improve further, let me know. I'm always looking to improve. I said improved way too many times, but it's fine. Do you like how I'm doing stuff to it after I signed it? I gotta stop. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you were drawing along while watching this video, let me know what you were drawing. And if you're new here, hello, my name is Oliver. If you could subscribe, I would really, really appreciate it. We're reaching 100,000 subscribers. It's so close, so do me a big favor, subscribe. I would really like it. And if you like art, you'll probably like this channel anyway. I hope. And if you would like to see more from me, you can follow me on social media. Those will be on screen now and linked in the description box below. I'd recommend following me. I'd recommend following me on Instagram. That is where I am most active. That is where I interact with you guys, give you updates on videos, that's where I post my art, etc., etc. And you could also check out some of my other videos, which will be on screen now and linked in the iCard. I would really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye.